everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Brand Your Passion. In this week's episode, I really want to talk to you about writing really effective brand values. Brand values are something that are talked about all the time. It's one of the top things you always hear, that you want to think about your mission, your vision, and your values, right? Those are the top three things. Values are always mentioned and talked about, but they're not often explained, like what they are, why they're super important, and how the heck do you write them. So that's what I'm here to do today. I'm going to talk to you all about what they are, why they're important, how do they even help you in your brand and your business, how do you discover what they are, and then how do you write them in a really effective and powerful way. This is something that's really important to me, is making sure that your values are useful and effective and allow you to make really great decisions, drive your brand forward, and all of these good things. I'm excited to talk to you today about finding your values, writing them, figuring them out, and getting them out there into the world. So let's get started. Firstly, what are values? Your brand values, just like your values in life, are things that drive you and guide the way that you conduct business and exist as a brand. They highlight what's really important to you, and they help you to make decisions that align with your vision and your values. They also allow people to understand who you are and what you're all about and what is important to you. They're usually one word or phrases, or kind of short paragraphs about what's important to you as a business and a brand. And I've mentioned a little bit already, but let's talk about why they're super important, right? What even is the point of writing these 5 to 7 little statements about my business or my brand? What is the point? Well, number one, it's so that your audience can understand what is important to you. They can align themselves with you or not based on what those things are. Different brands have different values. They have different things that are important to them, and I can choose what brands to support based on what those values are. Apple versus Microsoft, right? Apple's brand values, a lot of them are about things looking beautiful and feeling beautiful and innovation and things like that, whereas Microsoft's are completely different, being a lot more open source and things like that. Those are their brand values, and they're very, very different. Having your brand values is equally important for your audience as they are for you, if not more important for you. How you use and implement your values is going to influence how your audience sees you. They can help you make really, really powerful decisions. There's a quote that says, it's not hard to make decisions when you know what your brand values are. And it's true, right? If you're stuck, if you're thinking, okay, how do I market this thing? Or I'm not sure whether I should run this competition. I don't know whether YouTube is a great option for me. Knowing what your brand values are and what's important to you can help you to make those decisions. I have a couple of great examples for you. When coronavirus hit and everybody went into lockdown, businesses had a lot of decisions to make about how they responded to this, what marketing they were going to do, how they were going to limit or open up their software. There were a lot of decisions to be made about how people would respond. One brand that I'm a huge fan of is ConvertKit. ConvertKit does email marketing software. They have a lot of creatives in their audience who struggled. We all struggled. Coronavirus hit. We were all hit. ConvertKit thought, okay, what are our values? One of their values is to default to generosity. When COVID-19 started to impact the lives of their audience, which is full of creatives, and their ability to earn a living online, which ConvertKit's whole vision is to help creators earn a living online. COVID started to impact their ability to do that. ConvertKit said, okay, let's default to generosity. They formed a $50,000 fund to help creators continue to earn a living online throughout the impacts of coronavirus. A bunch of other brands came on board, supplied more money, and creators were helped through this process. And the fact that ConvertKit had this value, default to generosity, helped them to make that decision. And it was really powerful, easy to make that decision. Whereas if they'd gone, we're not really sure what our values, we don't know what to do, how can we help, how can we open up our software or things like this. No, ConvertKit had their values really clear, and they said, okay, our value, default to generosity. That's what we're going to do. We're going to give away $50,000 that helps creators to get back on their feet and to keep going. Another company or a brand who did this similarly is Loom. Loom is a software that a lot of us probably use. It's used to record your screen on your computer, and you can record yourself like talking over the recording of your screen. Loom's mission is to empower everybody to connect online more effectively wherever they are. Their values include growth through empathy and remote first. So when everybody started to social distance and to work from home and start working remotely, Loom said, you know what? Our values are growth through empathy, being empathetic and experiencing how other people are feeling, and also remote first, right? They're all about people being remote and making that super easy. So they removed the recording limit on their free plan to be unlimited. They cut the price of their pro plan in half, extended all trials to 30 days, and made it free for teachers and students. They lived their values, they were empathetic, they were promoting being remote first, they were helping everybody, teachers, students, people working from home, to work remotely effectively. This is a really powerful example of living by your values, knowing what they are, using them to make powerful and easy decisions. I'm sure in that meeting, someone brought it up and said, what should we do? How can we help? Should we keep our plans as they are? Maybe we just keep going as we were before. But their values said, no, let's be empathetic and let's help people work remotely. Easy decision. So let's talk about how the heck you can find values just as powerful as this and write them. There are a bunch of ways that you can do this, that you can think about what are my values, and the best way to do that is just brainstorm. Get out your journal, get out a massive piece of paper and ask some of these questions to think about what is important. Number one, what is important to me in my business and or my life? What rules do I live by? What values do I admire in others? What will I always do? Opposite of that, what will I never do? What are the values or things that are important to my ideal audience? These are great questions to start brainstorming what your brand values are. As a personal brand, as a creative, your brand values are probably going to be very similar, if not the same as your personal values. It's because you are the face of this brand. It's about what's important to you, especially if people are going to be supporting you specifically or working with you specifically as a service provider. They want to know what's important to you. What is your personal brand all about? And now it's time to write them. And I have a strong opinion about writing your brand values. You might have heard in the past that your brand values should be one word, like creativity or passion or integrity, reliability, whatever. These words are not helpful because they're not specific or unique enough to you. They're not actionable and they're not measurable, okay? If my brand value is passion, for example, there's no way to distinguish between what passion means to me and what passion means to somebody else whose brand value is also passion. It's also hard for me to action passion. What does passion look like? What does it mean? How do I know if I'm being passionate? And that's the other thing, is that it's hard to measure. Okay, so how do I measure passion? How do I see if myself or my employees are outworking passion in a way that I think is aligned with my vision and my mission? So what you want to do instead of writing these words are great to start with, and they're probably the kind of words that you're going to have in your brainstorm, which is amazing. But what we want to do is turn them into action statements. So as I mentioned earlier, I talked about ConvertKit, and one of their values is create every day. You know, they could have just had the value of creativity, but that doesn't mean anything. It's very vague. It's not unique. It's not measurable. Okay. They have this statement, create every day, and then they have a description of what that looks like. Create every day. Our best days are the ones where we create. Every person on the team is a craftsperson and can roll up their sleeves to help build a better product and a company. We believe consistent progress every day leads to incredible results. So you can see how ConvertKit's idea of creativity is completely different from somebody else's. They are thinking about the fact that it's about showing up every day and creating, that it's about consistent progress and getting incredible results and everybody being a part of it. So it's unique, it's actionable, and it's measurable. They can literally so easily say, have you created today? No, yes, you know, it's easy to measure. Similar with one of my past clients, Amy. So we could have just said integrity, is her brand value. But instead, we really niched this down and made it specific to her and what's important to her, and said, educate from experience. This is the unique and specific part of integrity that Amy means and what's important to her. Educate from experience. I only share knowledge and advice about things that I have had results from myself. I always want to be confident in what I've achieved before teaching that to other people. I will always educate from experience. So you can see how that's specific, it's actionable, and it's measurable. Amy can call herself or her employees in the future, she can call them out and say, that wasn't educating from experience, or that was educating from experience, right? And the same goes for me. My brand values could be creativity, generosity, learning, support, and magic. Instead, mine are be creative, live creatively, practice creativity. That's one. Number 2 is give, and give some more. Number 3 is never stop learning. You will never be finished. Number 4 is bring a little magic to everything that you do. And number 5 is be creative's biggest cheerleader. And I have little descriptions that go along with each of those to show me exactly what that means. So this is what you want to do. You want to brainstorm all of your values. You want to narrow them down. Some of them are going to be quite similar. You can kind of group them together, figure out 5 to 7 key words or key kind of general values that you want to work with. Then you want to make them super actionable. So turn those one-word statements into action statements, and then write a little description about what that means. And that is how you're going to write your brand values. So go through those questions I gave you, narrow them down, turn them into action statements, and write the description. And you should have 5 to 7 that you can put on your about page, you can create content about, you can live, you can breathe, you can make decisions using, and I hope that it's really, really helpful for you. So that is all things brand values. I hope it's been super useful to hear about what they are and why they're important, like how in the world do I write them? And I hope that kind of shifting your experience of values as those one word things that you see on a poster into really actionable and powerful things that will inform the direction of your brand. I hope that's been really, really useful. I would love to hear all about the values that you write. So please let me know in the comments of this video if you're watching the video, or flick me a DM, tag me on Instagram. I honestly would love to hear what your values are. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this whole process. Please tag me if you're going through this process. You know, take a snap of your brainstorm, put it on Instagram. I would love that so much. I hope this has been super useful, and as always, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, leave a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next time. Ugh.